Welcome to the video of me predicting film releases of what is to come or still in development and things like that. And so I knew there are many films undated or in production or in development. So that's all I'm just going to say for now. So this film may have no introduction. Let's start predicting the release dates, shall we? It's about time. Let's go. The first film with the release date prediction I want to mention is the live-action Watch Dogs film. So this is based on the video game by Ubisoft, and it's produced by Ubisoft Film and Television and Regency Enterprises, but no official release date and no distributor yet. And so I think it's been filming from the summer of 2024 till nearly autumn 2024. So I think I'm just going to say late this year or maybe sometime next year. That's all I'm just going to say for the release date of the live-action Watch Dogs film. Next one is Soulmate, Megan spin-off film, originally set for January of 2026, and then it was pulled off from the calendar, and there is no official release date yet, So I think I'm just going to say later this year or early next year for the release date, And I'm sure Warner Brothers is going to release a new date for Cut Off and a new release date for Panic Carefully for April 2027, And I'm sure Universal Pictures will likely to get the new release date for Soulmate. Next is Four Kids Walk Into a Bank with Liam Neeson. I've just heard that this film is released in August of 2026 by Amazon MGM Studios at the CinemaCon panel. So I've just heard that the film actually has no specific date for August 2026 by the time it releases. So I think I'm just going to say between August 7th and August 28th. So I just want to predict the specific date for Four Kids Walk Into a Bank, either August 7th, August 14th, August 23rd, or August 28th. That's all I can say. Next film release prediction is the new Voltron film, set to release next year by Amazon MGM Studios, but honestly, this film has no release date yet, and this one is scheduled for next year. I'm just going to say maybe quarters of next year, maybe spring, summer, autumn, or winter 2027. That's all I'm just going to say. Between January 2027 and December 2027 for the release of Voltron with Henry Cavill. That's all I'm just going to say for Voltron by Amazon MGM Studios releasing next year, sometime next year. Next one is Panic Carefully, now scheduled for the release of April 2027 by Warner Brothers. I've just heard that Warner Bros. Delayed Panic Carefully from February next year to April next year for the release calendar. So no specific date in April, just April 2027 at the moment. And so I think the new release date for Panic Carefully, it will likely to be between April 2nd to April 30th, 2027. So yeah, that's all I can say for the release of Panic Carefully, and Warner Brothers is going to do the same thing with the Jonah Hill comedy Cutoff. Next is Cutoff, originally set for the release of July of 2026 and originally scheduled for summer 2026 release. And so yeah, so I heard there was a delay about the film Cutoff being pulled off the release calendar by Warner Brothers. So I'm sure Warner Brothers will find a new date for the Jonah Hill comedy Cutoff. For me, I think it's mid 2026 or late 2026 for the film. And I think it could be released either August, September, October, or November 2026. So yeah, that's for Cutoff. Next film release prediction is High Stakes Holiday. Now, this is an undated film, so I'm sure Warner Brothers will likely to release the film since the film's set around Christmas. And so yeah, it is a heist action comedy, and so yeah, I'm sure the film will likely to be released later next year, like either in November 2027 or December 2027. And so yeah, I just want to say later next year ahead of Christmas. And so yeah, later next year, like between November and December. And it will likely to release in November or December 2027. And so yeah, that's all I'm going to say for the film. Last one is Wolf Creek Legacy. I think it will probably set for the release of next year or maybe. So yeah, there is no release date for next year, and so yeah, and I'm gonna predict the release date for the film next year, and so maybe spring next year or summer next year or autumn next year or winter next year. And so yeah, they were just my guesses. And so yeah, maybe Q1 next year, Q2 next year, Q3 next year, or Q4 next year. That's all I'm gonna say for Wolf Creek Legacy. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in the video of me predicting film releases of what is to come in the future, and in the near future needs to be confirmed a new date or specific date. And so yeah, this was the first edition of predicting film releases. And so yeah, thank you everyone. See you in my next video. And goodbye. Peace out.